Hello to my Cappies. Hello to my Capricorns. This is Queen Amun Ra coming to you with your general reading. Capricorns. Hopefully you all are having a great week. Hopefully you all are having a great week. I gotta ask y'all, are y'all doing all right? Are y'all doing all right, Capricorns? Are you doing all right? You all have been asking me some strange questions. Some of you all in the comments section asking me if I'm doing all right. And I'm thinking I'm in a good, high vibrating mood. Trying to deliver you all some extra videos that some of you all have been requesting. Like, what is going on? Y'all good? Y'all good? I'm trying to ask in so many ways for you all to pray for and send some good energy to your fellow Cappies, to your fellow Capricorns. Can't give out any names. I don't send that kind of information out in the universe because you never know who's watching videos. But, sometimes people can read between the lines. Some of your fellow Capricorns need your prayers. Don't put people's information out there. Some of your fellow Cappies, and whether they got, they may not be sun sign Capricorns, but some people need your prayers, Capricorns. Y'all asking me if I'm good. Yes, I'm good. Y'all still not getting it. Some of y'all still not getting it. Some of your fellow Capricorns, whether it's Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, needs your prayers. Please send out prayers for stand in agreement with some of your fellow Capricorns, okay? All right. Let's get into your reading. All right. I've already prayed over your cards, already prayed over your space, and also pray over yourself. Pray over yourself. Send out messages for yourselves. Develop a structured plan, a rituals. We're in the last quarter moon phase. We had a pink moon. We had a pink full moon. Venus is no longer retrograde. Mercury is no longer retrograde. A lot of clear messages should be coming through right now. Get in the practice of, no matter what is going on in your life, some of your colleagues, you may look around and see that some of your colleagues at work, need you to stretch your hand across and just send good energy their way. And we're not even talking about necessarily religion, okay? Some of them may need your good energy sent across. You never know what people are going through. Never, ever, ever know what people are going through. Have no idea. You don't need to know exactly what's going on in people's lives to send them good energy. It shouldn't matter what skin color they are. It shouldn't matter, what kind of car they drive, what kind of house they live in, if they make it more or less than you do. You don't need to know all the details. Just send out good energy to people. So you don't need to jump on the bandwagon to send good energy. You got to remember, Aquarius is in Pluto until March 8th, 2043. And that means that there is a complete reset. In case people haven't noticed, what that really, really means is it's kind of sort of like and Pluto is the death rebirth planet. Just so we're all clear, and Aquarius is a humanitarian sign, but Pluto is the renewal, transformation, death, rebirth, power, mystery planet, right? And so there is a complete rebirth of humanitarianism happening on planet Earth. And so it's going to be gone are the days of people having to find out in detail, becoming familiar with why we need to operate in a spirit of like the particulars of why we need to love each other as human beings. Like, those days are going away. So all of that, you need to find out the details as to why you need to send out good energy to people. Those days are going away. All of this, I need to find out this information. I need to find out some of the people on your job right now, and some of your neighbors are not going through the best times right now, and they really need, your energy. They really do. They need your energy. They need good energy, right? So yeah, practice that. Never know what people are going through. Never know. Never ever know. Let's get it. So yeah, let's get it. I've been getting some good reports from some people. Like some real good reports. Some people have been calling me, telling me some good information about some things that people are also. People have been sending me some good information too about what they've been going through as well. So good and but you never know what people are going through. So good and all of that. But I welcome today with open arms. I welcome today with open arms. This is the intention of the overall reading, right? So yeah. But yeah, some of your fellow Cappies are going through some things. So send out good energy, Capricorns. Send out some good energy. Just to the collective community. Whether they're Capricorns or not, just send out some good energy, please. So I didn't want to have to make that announcement, but since people are asking me if I'm going through something, I think because I channel messages and I pick up on the collective community, people are asking me, right? But no, it's, yeah. I don't need to, I'm not sharing anybody's information. Let's get into it. Let's get right into it. Let's get into it. But yeah, some people are experiencing some amazing news. Like some people are really, really taking leaps of faith and kind of sort of like closing out cycles, and I mean some amazing things are happening for some people too. So yeah. All right, let's get an angel number. Let's do it. 300. Yeah, there we go. Divine connections. So yes, there we go. Closing out cycles. So somebody's closing out cycles with two energies, and this is right here lets me know somebody's operating in a spirit of love. So this is divine connection. So the mind, body, and spirit unite. Your angels acknowledge that you have an intense connection to the divine right now. The unity of your mind, body, and spirit creates a conduit for spirit messages. Sit in meditation with your hands on your third eye chakra, the center of your forehead right now. Repeat this mantra a few times until it begins to sink in. I trust in my ability. So 3. So this color green right here. So get connected with colors. I'll try to call out colors and obviously numbers when I do readings. But this color green connects us with the heart chakra, right? And the heart chakra starts the upper chakras, right? So it kind of puts you like right in the middle, but the middle is the middle auric layer connected to your heart chakra, and it serves as a gateway to the upper chakras and divine energies, right? So it connects us to, that's why you hear people say your head and heart could be at war with each other when you're trying to close out cycles. You know how sometimes you're like, oh gosh, I just want to close out, let's say when you're trying to close out a relationship with, somebody you're in a let's say romantic love, right? And you can say, gosh, I just want closure. I'm just trying to make a connection for somebody. Never know what people are going through, right? So let's say you're in a romantic relationship with somebody, or you got a friend you've been in long-term friendship with, and you're like, man, I'm trying to close it out, but it's not as complicated, right? You've heard people say that, right, Capricorn? It's complicated. We've been friends since we were kids, and it's just complicated. It's not as easy as people think it is. We used to do this, we used to hang out, we used to, run to the ice cream truck. Now every time I hear that, ice cream, music, then I think about them. It's not as easy because it literally feels like you're grieving, right? It literally it's a death. It feels like it feels like a loss, right? So trying to get to the rebirth side, trying to go through a powerful transformation without somebody that you've been in a long-term relationship with and you still love that energy, there's that pain that goes along with it, right? And so you can still love somebody but still trying to initiate the closure of something when you still have questions, and sometimes it's unanswered questions, right? So yeah, it just to talk about it could feel like, wow, I got to sit with that, right? But what if there are energies who feel like, you need to close it out faster, right? And so as a light worker, and I'm coming into it, and I'm saying, listen, find out what your moon sign is as you're pulling your birth chart, finding out what your moon sign is and pouring on that open wound, that heart energy, the air, that sword energy, right? Pouring on that deep wound and just cleaning that off. That's when, as a receiving zodiac sign, as you're trying to receive some downloads from sources, like you trying to make it make sense when you don't have all the answers. They have their version of, like, their side of the sword, meaning their understanding of things. You have your understanding of things when things are closed off. Like they have their version, and they can linger on for years. But this is your version of the truth. That's their version of the truth, and that's how it can be, right? And so at some point, The conversation ends and the healing begins, right? As you're going through that metamorphosis. So when we talk about opening today with, welcoming today with open arms, the healing begins when somebody decides, okay, a decision has to be made. And so you don't see this being open, right? You're closing out 2 cycles. You're closing out 2 cycles. You're closing out 2 cycles and you're moving on from something, right? So you may be having a conversation in love and you're moving on. So whoever these, 2 energies are, it can be one at work, one at home. It could be a friend. It could be 2 friends. It could be whoever the 2 types of energies are. It could be 2 types of energies tied to 50 people, places, or things, whatever. But 2 types of things as far as your head and heart may have been at war with each other. But whatever it is, you are the one that's initiating the closure, okay? So you are the ones that's initiating the closure, right? So something had to come to where you had to sit with self, Capricorn, and you had to close something out, okay? So you are the one that's initiating the conversation. You are the one that's initiating the conversation. There's a lot of messages in this because the number 3 also connects us with 3rd house. Third house is also about early education, intelligence, sibling interaction, logic, reason, communication skills, short trips, hobbies, right? So it could also be something where somebody that's like a brother or a sister to you, or it could be like, somebody that you may have taken short trips with, or, somebody where you feel like it was a sense of security for you with them. It could have been like somebody that you went to school with. There's another one, like 3rd house. It connects us with Gemini. The card for Gemini could have been like somebody you feel like somebody treated you, like talked down to you on a regular basis, where you looked up to them and they kept talking down to you or treated you less than. It could have been all the hidden messages in there, somebody that you love, but they kept talking down to you. And you just felt like, wow, I really looked up to you, but you always treat me like I'm less than you are. No matter what, no matter how much I treat you with respect, you always talk down to me like I'm just less than, no matter what. When we talk about logic and reason, it just doesn't make any logical sense. No matter how much I try to reason with you, it just doesn't make any sense. And love is not always romantic love. Y'all see where I'm going, right? And then we talk about communication skills. Like people talk to you like you just not smart. Maybe they have more education than you do, but that doesn't mean that they're smarter than you are, right? Right? Here we have short trips. If it's somebody you don't even want to take a short trip with them, right? You don't even want to see yourself taking a short trip with them because it's turned into an argument. Here we have hobbies. Y'all don't have anything in common, right? Heart chakra connects us with things that you have in common, with people. So, yeah. So here we have you welcome today with open arms. So you may be having a conversation with 2 energies, or it could be you and somebody having a conversation. But these 2 zeros right here could look like eyes. It's like you can't even see yourself. You can't even see making a connection. You just can't even see it. So you can't even see yourself going any further. So, but somebody has maybe have thought a long time about something. Yeah. And so you're getting some money. Some money is coming your way. You and somebody may have been paid for something, but you're getting some money. You're receiving some money. So you and somebody may have received some money for something, but you're getting some money, right? And so I see your abundance and your prosperity growing. Yeah, I see your abundance and your prosperity growing. Because your intuition is growing now. Your intuition is growing. Yeah. And I see you kind of been at a crossroad about something. You were at a crossroad. And so now, being at a crossroad and having a feeling, this is the I feel sign. You were at a crossroad about something. And so now, Source is actually rewarding you. Source is rewarding you. So now you're getting some money. Now you're receiving some money. Source is the one that's rewarding you some money. You're going into hermit mode. This is where a light is turning on for you. You may have received some money for something, but Source is now putting you in hermit mode. Because that's where somebody actually really, really thrives, in hermit mode. And something is like returning back to full circle for you all. which is where Saturn plays a role, because Saturn, you all are you are a divine feminine zodiac sign. That is where you receive messages from the divine, right? So it has nothing to do with sexuality. Divine masculine, divine feminine is what we all embody, the divine, the creator inside of us. That makes you whole and complete. You're not a half of a person, right? But when people treat you almost like you need another human being in order to be a whole person, therefore they treat you as less than, or that they are greater than, something is very wrong with that, right? You bring something to the table just like every other human being brings something to the table, right? And so that is where we are here to help each other, right? Just like when you, and it's your personal and professional life, right? So yeah. So you being paid to, you and somebody being paid to do something, and this right here is water, meaning watch somebody, or record somebody, because that's also, water is reflective. Source is saying, yeah. But while somebody's in hermit mode, source is saying, yeah, that's you're worth more than that. You're worth more than that. Somebody was determined when you can do your shadow work. You can do your shadow work. And these candles right here is almost enlightenment, right? So a light is turned on in you. A light is turned on inside of you. A light has come on. You're determined to do your shadow work, right? Just like other people are determined to do their shadow work. You don't have a divisive spirit. You're all about, and this we're talking about being on your throne. You're determined to use, learn how to use your fire responsibly, right? So when we're talking about you inspire people, you empower people. This is using your fire responsibly. You empower people. You are confident. You are charismatic. You're strong-willed. You're motivational. You're a leader. You have mental clarity. But the improper use of your fire, right? And you make people feel significant. And so you want to align yourself with people who know how to use their fire properly, right? The improper use of fire is when it causes you digestive issues, kidney, liver problems, food allergies, cause you to feel timid, enraged, cause you to have diabetes and ulcer issues and chronic fatigue and low self-esteem, right? Because you're doing something that just doesn't make you feel good internally. It doesn't make you feel good. And so when somebody asks you doing something, you automatically just lie. Because you're afraid. You're always walking on eggshells. And people can feel it. That's the I feel sign. People can feel it. People can feel like you're not being honest about something. Right? So this is your ruling planet, Saturn. It's a very serious planet, and this is a generational planet. And so somebody doesn't want that to be a part of their tradition. It doesn't want somebody to be a part of who you are. Somebody does not want that to be a part of who they are. So you're welcoming today with open arms. You're ending something. Something you're ending. This is a death rebirth card. So this is rebirth. This connects us with Scorpio. We're not talking about any Scorpios that you know. Again, Scorpio rules 8th house. This connects us with Pluto and also Mars. Scorpio is ruled by the Tower card, and it also is ruled by the Judgment card, right? Pluto is about to go retrograde May 4th, for those of you all who like to write down dates. It is going retrograde May 4th. 2025 through October 14th, 2025, for those of you all who like to write down dates. Pluto rules 8th house. 8th house is all about renewal, sexuality, death, transformation, shared finances, inheritance, loans, the occult, mystery, and intimacy, right? So something is ending. Something is ending. Something is ending. So we're welcoming today with open arms. Yeah. 6 of Cups also connects us with Scorpio as well, right? You inherited a lot of spiritual gifts, so you're highly spiritually gifted, highly spiritually gifted. Somebody is a creator, so this connects us with water. So it's like somebody has inherited a lot of spiritual gifts. So that would be like, for instance, I was talking to somebody yesterday, and we were talking about, let me start with something I saw on social media. And at first listened to this person on Instagram, somebody would have thought she was being negative, but she was actually speaking her truth. And I didn't take it as her being negative, but it was kind of like her delivery. If somebody was kind of sort of in there, if they weren't really listening to what she was saying, they would have assumed she was being negative. But she was being completely honest about, and it sounded like she was actually frustrated, but she wasn't being negative. She was saying that she wanted some information. She was basically like, why are there so many people who gatekeep about how to make money on social media, right? And that is a very valid question. It is a very, very valid question, because it's the same argument that people have in your workplace, in a lot of people's workplace. Imagine, Capricorn, going to work every single day, and you, as a very structured zodiac sign, the same job that a lot of people work on every single day, going to your job, and you go and you get hired on a job. Your resume says that you're qualified for the job. You sit in an interview, you interview very well, you go through all the necessary steps to get your job, and they say you're hired. You go through all the steps. They say you're hired. You're qualified for the job, right? You're a team player. You're there. You show up for the job. You're early. You get go through the entire vetting process, and you happen to work under a manager or a leader who, for whatever reason, has an issue and somehow doesn't, is a setup for failure. They don't tell you all the steps for you to be successful in the position. That's a classic story for a lot of people. They don't tell you all the steps for you to be successful, right? Right? And you come there, you have a great attitude, you're excited about, working there, you're positive, you're upbeat. After a while it starts to chip away, right? But to add insult to injury, people label you as having a bad attitude. You're not a team player. What's wrong with you? No matter what, you try to continue being very positive, being upbeat, that kind of thing. You're the one with the problem. Now, you're the one that's not a team player. You're the one that has an issue and a problem. You can't figure out for the life of you what it is, right? All the mind games, right? So the young lady on Instagram was wondering, what is the issue with people gatekeeping on social media, right? So by the time people come across channels like mine and other readers who don't gatekeep and say, hey, we're trying to share as much information as possible, by that time you've heard so many divisive spirits that say tarot is evil, it's demonic, you shouldn't be watching it, it's bad for you. You've heard so much of what you shouldn't be doing, when we're trying to say, okay, pull your birth chart, listen to water sounds, drink your water, this is find out what your north node is, all these other things, and all this information to gain some kind of clarity, and these are the receiving signs, these are the sender signs, and this kind of thing. People are so turned around and confused in this information age where all of this information is floating around. People are so confused that I can understand why this young lady on social media was just frustrated, just flat out frustrated. So she didn't sound negative to me, because I get it. I understand and I get it. So Source is saying, well, you are a very structured sign. You're going to have to kind of almost sift through the information yourself. And I do see, you having a conversation, with, you having a conversation. You're having a conversation. You're having a conversation. I do see money coming across your path. I see money coming across your path. So you're welcoming today with open arms. I see money coming across your path. Right? Here's the Eight of Swords here. Remember, these restrictions are not tight at all, right? But this right here is a portal. These restrictions are not tight at all. but it's also it looks like a destiny swap, with two energies. Like you almost felt like you and somebody were, destiny swapping with someone else. Like people were just determined for you and someone to destiny swap, right? When really the truth is that it's room out here for everybody. There's so many people out here that don't have a problem with sharing information, and there's really enough out here for everybody. Really it is. But there's so many people that's caught in a karmic cycle. They don't want to have those conversations with people. They don't want to have, because if some people feel like it's just somebody's getting more than what they're getting. So you're welcome today with open arms. Welcome today with open arms. Whatever the day is, whenever you watch this video. So, yeah. But you're definitely leaving distractions behind. Yeah. So yeah, you got some good news. You got a message of some good news coming through. Got a message of good news coming through. Yeah, got a message of good news coming through. Yep, here's a Ten of Cups here. And I do see divine connections for you. Something where you want to be in more harmonious places. The sooner you all get, what Source is trying to help somebody do is live a softer life. Really live a softer life. Yeah, when you're working with energies who this is the setup for failure, right? When you're working in organizations where people intentionally leave out steps, and you're asking, for clarity. This is right. You're pouring out. You're asking for clarity, right? You're asking for clarity, like why? Why is this obsession? Why do I have to keep watching? Why do I have to keep watching? What is, and you're not asking. Why do I have to keep asking? I mean, why do I have to keep watching something? Why do I, one, basically people are basically determining that you're not mentally competent enough to learn beyond a certain, they've determined no matter how, and you can learn anything. Creative, somebody is highly creative, right? But people are basically saying you can't learn beyond something. You're not smart enough. You're not intellectual enough. Even though emotionally you are intelligent, but they're saying like book smarts, you can't learn beyond something. Even though you've already proven creatively you can learn, right? But somebody's saying basically you're not smart enough to learn something. So all you good for is to sit there and watch somebody on a screen, right? Like you just a fool. Right? So when people do that in the workplace, wherever you are, like that's all you're good for is just to sit there and watch somebody. All you good for is just to sit there. You're not smart enough to watch something. Even though you've proven that you can do more than that. That's all you're good for. That's all you're good for. Right? Is to sit at home and watch something. You're not good for anything else. Right? You got to remember we're in an information age. Creatively, a lot of you all are, you can look all of it, again, find out what your North Node is, and find out what jobs are good, jobs you can do in your North Node, You all are incredibly smart. You all are an incredibly smart sign. People know that you all are the hardest working sign in the zodiac, but who are you working that hard for, right? Who are you working that hard for? And is that really love? Right? Is that really love? Right? Is that really love? It's almost not like really not putting your brain to good use. So eventually you'll start to see that it now is a justification for why you're not getting promoted. It's a justification at this point now, right? You'll start to see, oh, well, this person, they have, people see, It's a justification for why you're not getting promoted. So now you feel like, okay, now I can't go find something else because, I don't really have any skills. I've been here for 10, 15 years and now I can't find anything else. This is all I can do. Nobody won't give me any positions because this is all I can do. I've been sitting here just watching one thing for like 15 years, getting paid that amount. It's a complete setup for failure, right? And it's ruthless. It's ruthless. So free yourself. Free yourself. Right? It's determined to put you in a zombified state. Determined to put you in a zombified state. So wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up. Right? So go back through your memory. Go back through your memory. Go back through your memory. That's where the breakthrough is going to come in. Go back through your memory. Go back through your memory. Because that's where you're going to start remembering. When you start asking questions, that's when, okay, wait a minute. When you started saying something, that's when the cutoff point was. That's when the cutoff point was. Certain questions you started asking is when the cutoff point was. Yeah, that's when the cutoff point was. That's when you start making the connections. That's when you start making the connections. Because that's how smart you all are. That's what we talk about. That's the cutoff point. When we're talking about like and this is in your personal and your professional life. When you start asking certain questions, that's when you start making connections. In your brain, you start making the connections. Who's connected to whom? Who is connected to whom? What's connected to what? That's when you start making the connections. That's when you start making the connections. That's when you start closing out cycles. You all are highly intuitive, you all are very smart. You all are not a fool. I keep trying to tell y'all over and over and over again, you all are not. You all are a hard-working sign, but Source is trying to help you all when you're around energy vampires who are emotionally manipulative, who are trying to manipulate you in your personal and your professional life, and saying, here, let me just give you some money. Stop thinking about it in terms of I'm just getting money. What are you getting paid for? Source is saying to you, you're incredibly creative. You will not go back. You will not go back. Like I said, here's a drink. Here's a drink. Here's sex. Here's a drink. Let's just laugh and have fun. While people are doing stuff behind your back. And being ruthless at the same time. As soon as you ask questions, right? So, yeah. Then that's when you know you hit your jackpot. That's when you know you hit your jackpot. But you're learning how to make divine connections. You're learning how to make divine connections with energies. Learning how to make divine connections with energies. There's a lot of people online who, again, don't mind sharing information. They do not mind sharing information. They really don't mind sharing information. People who are sharing information, they are very clear. They are out and open. They're not confusing. They are literally sharing screenshots, step by step by step. Multiple streams of income. They not being mean-spirited. They saying, you should know this by now. None of that. They don't feel like they need to be cutthroat. None of that. They're not treating you like you slow or you should know. None of that. That's how you're going to save yourself. That's how you're going to save yourself from being around energy vampires. You pouring all of this out to all of this and getting nothing back. Little to nothing back. Go where you are appreciated and not where you all are tolerated. That's what Source is trying to help somebody. That's what Source is trying to help somebody. Faith. Miraculously, amazingly, everything I need always comes. Love is opening me to receive it beyond anything I imagine. Not hate. Yeah. Faith, not fear. Love. And we're talking about agape love, vibrating on a high frequency. A high frequency. Get away from energies who won't resolve. They stay in a karmic cycle. They won't operate in, I don't care where you came from. Some people come from households where they were bullied by their parents. Some people come from households where they, didn't have enough food, went to bed stomach growling. Some people had to sleep outside. For real, some people grew up in some horrible conditions. But they resolved something within themselves and said, you know what, I forgive whomever for whatever. And I'm not going to make everybody in my life pay for that. I just forgive people. I'm going to move on. I'm going to rise above all of that. I'm going to close out cycles in love and move on. I'm not going to make everybody pay for that. But some of your colleagues and people around you, they make people pay for stuff forever. Source is saying, stop pouring out so much. And people are making you pay for stuff, and you sitting there just pouring and pouring and pouring and pouring, just pouring out until you empty. And you're just walking around zombified. So Source is going to put you in hermit mode so you can learn how to pour back into yourself. You learn how to save yourself. Learn how to save yourself. Pour back into you. And enjoy your wealth. And enjoy your wealth. You all are an incredibly smart zodiac sign. Incredibly smart zodiac sign. You're not slow. You're not, everybody has gone through this. Everybody. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter what your skin color is. Everybody has gone through this. The whole planet has gone through this. It's a part of the learning process. It really is. Because the whole planet is being reset right now. The entire planet has been reset right now. That's where the compassion comes in. The entire planet is being reset right now. Participate. Don't confuse intention with entitlement. The entitlement to demand from the world leaves you with nothing. The world is rich, and so are you. The world is rich, and so are you. That's right. Somebody comes from an incredibly creative. You have a lot of gifts and talents. A lot of gifts and talents. You just need to get with the right people that's going to help you. But if you feel like you're out here just in it to win it, take from people because you feel like the world has taken from you, you're going to run right up against people who they're going to take more from you. And it's just going to be a never-ending, that. And that's where people meet their karma. That's because it's going to come back to bite you. It's going to come back to bite you in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Yeah, judgment. Yeah, so yeah. So yeah, so Source is putting you in hermit mode. Source is going to put you in hermit mode. Source is going to put you in hermit mode so that you can work on yourself. Source is going to put you in hermit mode so you can work on yourself. And that is what I have for you. That is what I have for you. Your commitment is being tested. Yeah, your commitment is being tested. So welcome today with open arms. Whatever the day you watch this video, welcome it with open arms. Welcome it with open arms. So the Nine of Swords is about no longer like ending your own nightmare, for real. It's like not just continuing on with the nightmare. Wake up from the nightmare. Get around people with clear intentions. Get around people with clear intentions. Like I mentioned, and I'm going to say this and close out the reading, this young person well, I say young lady, so she could, I don't know what her age is. So she's younger than me, I know that. But she sounded like she was frustrated. She was not being rude to anybody. She just spoke her mind. She spoke her truth, on social media. And she was just like, why are so many people gatekeeping? And she actually added a little humor to it, but she just like, so why are so many people gatekeeping on social media? Right? So when people are with clear intentions are telling you how they're making their money on social media, Source is saying, pour into yourself, master it, learn, like tweak it, make it your own. Go step by step by step. But when you get opportunities, when people are helping you, slow your roll, slow down. Put stuff on pause, like create this right here. Enforce your own boundaries. Master it until you get it, until you get yourself together and say, okay, I mastered this. I've created the life that I needed for myself. I'm going to have to get all the noise out of my head of who assuming what about me, and I got it. Then I can help somebody else after my cup is full. I need to help me first. I can't pour from an empty cup. And that's what Source is trying to help somebody learn how to do. I cannot pour from an empty cup. I need to get myself together first, and then I can help somebody else. So somebody was pouring everything out. So, and that's, so I see somebody's heart. Somebody does have a big heart. Somebody wants to help other people. But, yeah, somebody's heart is in the right place. So this is generational. Somebody comes from a very creative energy, and but this is a generational curse that somebody is breaking. It's a generational curse that somebody is breaking, and so this is where you leave in the poor decision behind, and you're learning how to. And that may feel uncomfortable for some of you all. First, you may almost feel awkward to make sure your cup is full, but that's the only way you're going to save yourself from feeling like a fool, really, and you're just going to start speaking up to people and saying, look, I can't, I want to help you, but I can't pour from an empty cup. You're going to get the best of me when I take care of what I need to take care of first, and then I can help you. Let me take care of this first, and then I can help you. People will appreciate it more. So that is what I have for you. Hopefully this is helpful. I'll see you all in the next video. But please, please, please pull your birth chart. Find out what your North Node is. Go and find out what career choices for your North Node and start there. And don't forget your moon sign and find out how do you pour into yourself for your gender, for your moon sign. Do that on just like you wake up and go to sleep every day. Your moon sign is just as important as your sun sign, right? That's what I have for you. Hopefully this is helpful. So, but yeah, welcome every day with open arms. Set an intention. All right? Bye.